program is to feel good and to leave this class feeling a little bit better than you came into it. So we'll get started seated at the edge of your chair, and you can find a comfortable position with your feet resting down on the floor. I just want to make sure you all have a good angle here. Okay. So with your feet resting down on the floor, you can look down at your feet and make sure that they are parallel to one another. Think about pressing your big toe, pinky toe, and heel down into the floor at the same time. So you feel kind of this broad triangle of support. And we're not really putting a lot of weight through our feet right now, but I want you to almost think of your feet as being this active base of support for the rest of your body. Once you feel your feet grounded into the floor beneath you, pick your chest up tall. Imagine someone pulling the top of your head up to the ceiling, lengthening your spine, and allow your arms to rest down by your side. As you sit here in this moment, close your eyes and take a moment to scan your body and just notice how it is doing today here in this moment. Starting to scan from the very top of your head all the way down into that nice grounded foot pressing into the floor. Notice any spots of tension, any differences you feel from side to side, knowing that in this moment, there is no right or wrong way for your body to feel. We're just here to notice your body. And as you're getting in touch with how you feel in this moment and continuing to lengthen and lift your spine up tall, start to focus on your breath. Start with just gentle, shallow breathing. It doesn't have to be the deepest breath you've ever done, but I want you to visualize your breath and notice if it tends to stay up high in your neck and shoulders. A lot of times when we're busy working or we're stressed or we're kind of bent over, all of our breath pattern goes into our neck and shoulders, and that can lead to a lot of tension, even added feelings of stress throughout our body. Focus on sending your breath down a little bit lower. Almost feel like if your lungs were a balloon, like you're inflating the bottom part of that balloon first, and then filling up the rest of your lungs with air. As you fill up that bottom part of your lungs first, feel like that balloon is starting to actually lift and lengthen your spine, like gravity is pulling you up and lifting as your belly fills with air. Allow your belly to relax and to expand. Allow your rib cage to relax and expand. We'll try a couple more breaths here. And gently release. Try once more, nice filling inhale, breath in. And a nice deep sigh, exhale, release out and let it go. Blinking your eyes open, but continuing to press your feet down into the floor, start to circle your shoulders. And you can just let your arms hang down by your side. You can let your hands rest on your thighs. But I want these circles to be exaggerated and dramatic. So like the biggest circles you've ever made, without them being uncomfortable. So it might make noise, it might be clicking and popping, that's okay. This shoulder is a very complex joint with lots of tendons, ligaments, and joints all moving around one another. So noise is normal and okay, as long as that's not painful. Good. Let's reverse those circles. Same thing, opposite direction, circling and reaching the shoulders up, around, and back. And just feeling the heat start to warm up the tissue around your neck, around your shoulders. Good. 3 more times here, just like that. And once more here. Good. And allow the shoulders to gently release down and away. Good. Now from this position, walk your right heel forward. And in fact, I'm going to just make a quick camera adjustment so you guys can see my feet, because we are going to play around a little bit. Let me get that just a touch more. We're going to play around a little bit with some ankle mobility here as well. So with your feet, you're keeping your left foot grounded. Walk your right foot forward so your knee is softly bent, not all the way straight, a little bit bent. And make sure when you do so that your toes are not pointing out to the side. They are right up to the ceiling. From this position, lift and lengthen your spine tall, reach your fingertips forward, and gently dive forward. Now, if you feel zinging pain into your toes, bend your knee a little bit deeper. This should mostly be a stretch in the back of your hamstring on that right side. Continue to pick your chest up, tipping forward, letting your arms hang. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, sitting on up tall, walk the right leg back. Find that strong grounding down into your right foot. Release your left foot forward. Soft bend into the knee. Your toes point up towards the ceiling. Spine is long and lengthened, and gently tip forward. Keep your gaze down towards your toes, but pick your chest up tall, letting your arms hang heavy. We'll take a big deep breath in here. And then a breath out, release, and come back. Planting both feet down in that parallel alignment, we're gonna bring some heat into the lower leg next. So with all 5 toes pressing down, start to lift and lower your heels. So this should be like a calf raise. But when you think about doing a calf raise, I want you to imagine like here, you are working against a really heavy resistance. This is pretty easy for most of us, but imagine that you are working slowly and steadily through a really tough resistance. And that resistance should help you to notice how maybe it's a little bit shakier on one side than the other. If you guys can see, my right side is definitely a little bit more juddery than the left. What we're working right now are some of the muscles that help stabilize our ankles. So if you're somebody who feels off balance, or maybe you've had a history of ankle sprains, this one's important. Look down. Notice if your weight is rolling to the outside of your foot, or maybe to the inside of your foot. Stay balanced across all 5 toes. Slowly, gently lower down and lifting on up. Good. 3 more. And 2. One more time. Now keep your heels lifted. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. You're going to gently rotate and twist your left arm back behind you. Come back up through the center. Gently twist and reach your right arm back behind you. Good. Now, if this feels like too much with your shoulders, you can bend your elbows and find that same twist. If this feels like too much for your back, you can gently cross your arms across your chest and just find a soft rotation. It doesn't have to be big. It might feel like this is the tiniest movement you've ever done, but that's okay. Now I have you come up on your toes because I want you to feel a little bit off balance here, and that will help you to find some of your core muscles that help create rotation in a safe way. 3 more. 2. Once more here, reach the arms up, drop down, drop your heels down, and take a little rest. Nice. Now we're going to take this into a little hip opener. So you can take your left ankle right on top of your right thigh and stack the spine up tall. Now, if this is too intense for that left side, walk your right foot forward until it feels like a stretch but comfortable. If you would like more intensity, walk your right foot closer towards your chair. Pick your chest up tall. You have the option here to add a gentle forward bend. Now, when I bend forward, I'm not slumping. My whole body is not compressing into my hips. I'm keeping the length of my spine and just gently reaching my sternum over my shin bone. And gently breathing here. Taking my left hand on top of my left knee, you can add a little gentle overpressure by pushing downward into your left hand. And this should be gentle. If this feels pinchy or painful, back off a little bit and just stay in that traditional stretch here. We'll hold for 1 more deep breath in. And then a deep breath and release out. Go ahead and cross your left leg all the way over your right. Take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh, and we'll find that same spine twist and stretch to the left side. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Gently gaze and look over towards your left fingertips. See if you can lengthen and lift your spine up a little bit longer, a little bit taller, and find that deep breath down into your belly and the sides of your ribs once again. Use that breath to press your right hand into your left thigh to open up a little bit deeper here. And then we'll come all the way back through the center. Uncross your legs. Open your legs wider than hip distance, feet planted on the floor. With your two hands, you can gently dive forward. Now, if this feels like too much to get your hands to the floor, you can rest your hands on your thighs here. Or if you'd like to intensify, you can walk your fingertips forward to lengthen and find a stretch across and through the lower back. We'll try taking a big deep breath in here through the nose. And a breath out through the mouth, walking the hands back on up onto your knees, and then drawing the feet back together in that strong planted parallel alignment. From here, right ankle goes on top of the left thigh. Now again, if this is too much, too intense, back off. Walk your left foot out and away. And if you want more intensity, bring your left foot in. More intensity when it comes to stretching is not always better. So we want our muscles to be able to relax so that they can stretch. If it feels like too much for our body, our muscles start to guard up and tighten, and we actually don't get as much of a stretch. So find that sweet spot for your body where it's a gentle stretch, but it's comfortable. It's something that you can hold and sustain. If you'd like to deepen from this position, pick the chest up tall, keep the length of your spine, and gently tip your chest forward, allowing your arms to reach down towards the floor. Gaze is just over the front of your shin, and we're just focusing on our breath. Again, one of the best ways to help our muscles relax is to find that deep, gentle breathing through your diaphragm, your ribs, and your belly. If we hold our breath, that starts to increase the intra-abdominal pressure. It makes it harder for our muscles to relax. We can add in that gentle overpressure with your right hand on top of your right knee. You're pressing downward, straight towards the floor. And again, this is gentle. It shouldn't be painful. This option may not feel right for everyone, and that's okay. So just a gentle overpressure if that feels good for your body. We'll try with another big, deep breath in here. And then a release out. Go ahead and cross your right ankle all the way over the left thigh. Take the outside of your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and gently rotate and twist towards the right. And as you twist here, notice if you're slumping. It's very tempting to end up in that position here. Push into your left hand to open up and stretch the body to the right. You can even gently gaze over your right fingertips if that feels okay. Shoulders are dropped down away from the ears. Every time you take that breath in, imagine lengthening and lifting your spine up a little bit longer and taller. Taking big, deep, expansive breaths, opening up through the front of the shoulders. And then an exhale, breath out, release. You can unravel that right leg. Once again, open up the legs a little bit wider than hip distance. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling and dive rolling forward. If you would like to walk both hands out, you can do so. Reminder that there is the option to modify with elbows to knees if that is more comfortable. So find that alignment that works best for your body here. And just take a gentle breath. Good. Now from here, we'll press on up, realign the feet here, and we're going to start to come up into a standing position. So we'll start with some sit to stands, and I will offer some modifications here. But basically, when we come up to standing, I want you guys to think about your nose for a moment. Your nose should tip forward over your toes to give yourself the best mechanics to stand up. So feet are planted firmly to the floor underneath you. Fingertips reach forward. We're getting our nose forward over our toes, pushing into our feet and standing tall. Then our nose tips forward over our toes, to come back down to sitting. Now, if you are not comfortable coming all the way up and down in this sit to stand posture, you can practice just sitting partway down and standing up, partway down and standing up. So we're here just trying to bring a little bit of extra blood flow to our legs, warming up the tissue, maybe bringing our heart rate up a little bit and deepening our breath. This is also something that we do every single day, getting up and down from a chair. So practicing this is a great way to build strength in very important muscles for your body. Good. If you'd like to add an overhead reach on your next one, you can go ahead and reach forward, lift up, down, and lower. Reach forward, arms overhead, down, and lower. Forward with the fingertips, up and lift, down and lower. Reach forward through the fingers, lift and down and lower. You've got it. 3 more. Lift, down and lower. That's it. Last 2. We'll get ready to stand here. Down and lower. Once more here, nose over the toes, lift, lower your arms down and hold. Now, we're going to take a slightly wider stance than hip distance, and this should be comfortable. Again, everyone's wider feeling will be a little bit different, but we're going to just try a couple of bend and press from here, as though we were doing that sitting down in the chair, but just noticing how this may feel a little bit different. So this is your option to start. If you would like to add in a little bit of sideways movement, we're going to squat, reaching our weight to the right, lift the left leg, land down, reaching our weight to the left, lift your right leg, down as though you're moving under a limbo stick, and then you're popping up on the other side. Now, if this feels okay for your body, you can add the reach of your arms overhead as well. So starting to introduce some of those sideways movements, you can get a nice little stretch through your side body, as well as some work, of course, in your legs. And you can make these little dips as big or as small as you would like. Play around with the range of motion that works for you here. That's it, guys. Good. We'll try 4 more. Squat down and lift 3. Lift 2. 1 more time, lower back down and walk your feet through the center. Shake it out a little bit. I'll turn to the side so you guys can see. We're going to go up and down on the toes next. So feet parallel towards one another with your feet firmly planted to the floor beneath you. Chest up tall. Start to lift and lower up and down on your toes. As you're lifting and lowering here, feel all 5 toes pressing down into the mat beneath you with the top of your head lifted tall, shoulders rolling down and back. As you lift and lower up and down on your toes, imagine like you are lifting off a sheet of glass. And when you land, you want to be as delicate and gentle as possible. So as though a hard landing would actually break the glass beneath you. Good. Continue here. I know those calf muscles are starting to burn. I know they're starting to talk to you. Good. 4 more. We've got a good stretch coming in 3. Last 2. Get ready to hold it up. Last time here. Pause. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Woo, and shake it out. Now from here, we're going to take that calf stretch. So walk your right foot forward and your left foot back into a wider stance. Doesn't have to be big. When you look at your feet, they should be parallel to one another. From here, you want to push your left heel to the floor and bend your right knee. Okay, so again, I'm pushing my left heel down, bending my right knee. That should give you a pretty intense stretch in the back side of your ankle on that left side. If you need to hold on to something for a little bit of balance, go ahead and do so here. Opening up the chest, shining your heart forward, press the heel down and away, and just let your body relax and hold here. We'll try 1 more big, deep, filling breath in. And then a gentle release out, press away. And we're going to switch to the opposite side. So walk your left foot forward, right foot back. You're going to press your right heel down to the floor, bending your left knee. It's gentle. I feel a big stretch here. If you don't feel a stretch at all, widen your stance a little bit or bend your left knee a little bit deeper. Focus on squaring your hips. So you want to rotate your right hip forward, left hip back. Gaze is just over the tops of your toes. Don't be afraid to hold on to something here if you feel like you need that balance in the setup as well. We'll try another big press back with a big filling breath into your belly. And then release out and gently walk the feet together. Once more for our final standing set with roll down. So in this position, feet are parallel, pushing down into the floor beneath you. Reach your fingertips up tall to the ceiling. Soft bend in your knees and start to dive and roll the spine up and over, allowing your head to hang down, creating a nice candy cane curved shape as you drop your fingertips towards the floor. Take a big deep inhale, breath here. As you exhale, push into the feet and start to articulate and curl the spine up, 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 up with your fingertips reaching tall to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, start to dive and roll, soft bend of the knees, head hanging down, reaching the fingertips long, finding a nice long inhale, breath in, and an exhale, breath, release out, push into the feet, curl so that your head and shoulders are the last thing to lift. Once more here, inhale, exhale, dive, rolling and lengthening the fingertips up and over, letting the head hang down and heavy, taking a big inhale, breath, and an exhale, push into the feet, pull and lift the spine all the way back up, and arms drop down by your side. Now line up in front of your chair. We'll take another sit to stand with your arms reaching forward to place ourselves back down into the chair. Woo. So hopefully your body is feeling a little bit warmer here. We're going to take this into a couple of wrist stretches. So sitting up nice and tall, feet plant into the floor beneath you. Reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. Bring your palms to touch like you're giving yourself a high five. Push your hands together and drop them down towards your chest. You should feel a nice stretch through your forearm. Again, we reach up. Bring the fingertips together, push through your hands as though you are trying to really press one hand out of the way and come down as low as you can go, keeping the wrist touching. Once you can't go any farther, take a deep breath in, reach the fingertips up, and we'll try twice more. Hands together, press and lower down, down, down. Drop your shoulders away from your ears at the same time. And once more here, reach up, lengthen and lift, hands together, push and lower and down, down and down. Hold, we'll take one more deep breath in here and then release, shake it out. You're gonna take your hands next to the chair behind you. Now it can either be armrests if you have them or just the back of the chair. So if you're seated all the way forward on the front edge of your chair, you're just gonna reach your fingertips to the back. Once you have found that position, I want you to press your hands into the chair to open up your heart. So from the side, what it looks like with the hands pushing behind you is lifting your back into a gentle extension. And then we release, let it go. We push and lift our back into a gentle extension. It's gonna look different for everyone, but use the pressure and reach of your arm back behind you to gaze forward. You may also feel a really nice stretch across the front of your chest in this setup. Good, twice more. Push, open, lift, breathe. And one more time there, push, lift, open, and breathe. Good, and gently release. We're gonna roll out the shoulders here and start to take some side bending of the spine. So we just did a little forward bending when we were standing. We did our backward bending and we've done lots of twisting today. We're gonna take our spine into some sideways movement. So scooted right up to the edge of the chair, let your arms hang down by your side, gently start to tip one hand to the floor, come back to the center, the other hand. Now, as you do this, you don't want your opposite hip to lift off the chair. So as I reach here to the right, I'm working to keep my left hip down. And that requires a little bit of focus around your core. That means that the spine is doing the movement and not your hip, which is what we want here. It's okay if you have a difference from side to side. I don't want you to push here into the point of pain, just a gentle mobility and sideways exercise. Keep your feet firmly planted to the floor beneath you and take that gentle stretch. Good. 2 more. That's it. 1 more time. Good. Now we'll build on that by bringing the 2 hands together. Imagine your hands are like an axe, and you're going to chop both hands to the right, up and over to the left, down to the right, up to the left. Can you keep both of your hips down? If you need to bend your elbows as you do this, that is okay here as well for any shoulder discomfort. 2 more times, like you're drawing one side of an X across your body. And we're going to do the other side in just a moment. Last one. Good. Both hands reach in front of you. Now we go up to the right and down to the left. Up to the right, down to the left. Option to bend the elbows here if that is more comfortable for your body. See if you can make that X as big as the other side, crossing from the top right to the bottom left. 4 more. That's it here, guys. And 3, this is our last big movement, last 2. Once more here, drop it down and shake it out. We'll finish with our breath work. Once again, planting the feet into the floor, picking the chest up tall, feeling even weight in your hips in the chair beneath you. We take an inhale, breath lift and lengthen. Exhale, out, release, and let it go. Again, another inhale, reach, lift, and lengthen. Exhale, release, and let it go. 1 more time here. We inhale, lift up, reach tall through the fingertips, and exhale, let it go. Allow your arms to relax down by your side. Nice job, everyone. That concludes the movement-based part of our class. We're going to use our